Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with a flip through of my latest book that I've completed. This journal is based on East of the Sun and West of the Moon as illustrated by Mercer Mayer. So this is his beautiful illustration in here. But this book, I know I often do storybook journals where I keep the whole story in the book. This time I didn't do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wasn't really able to because it's a very wordy story, and number two, it was a very long book, so the text would go across all the pages, so it would kind of be a little more complicated to do that. And also, it's not the kind of thing that I could share with you like reading wise in a short enough video. Not that that impacts necessarily how I make journals, but like all of those things being said, I took this on a different path. And I'm calling it the Journey Majestic because I have pulled into this book other children's books, beautifully illustrated in a similar vein, copy of Rapunzel and some just other things that, you know, I collect old children's books. And so I've put a lot of wonder into this book and I hope that you'll like it. So let's talk about it. So this book started out as this sort of dark teal colored book, and it had some damage to it, which now is completely invisible and gone, because I have done a lot of mixed media with it. I have sealed it. I have gilded it with copper, actually, wax, and I've stitched on it. I have stitched some beautiful sequin fabric over the spine. You'll see stitching on the back, some sanding and gilding. It has a nice matte feel to it. It's a very comfy book to hold on to. I don't know how else to explain that. It just is. It feels like a nice, you know, dark academia kind of moment of, you know, being curled up with a coffee in a coffee shop somewhere and opening a magical kind of book of wonder. Like, that's how it makes me feel. So this image on the front is from the cover of the East of the Sun and West of the Moon book. And so this was on the cover of the book. It shows you how wide this book was. Then I have added on top of it some really lovely holographic embossing. So you can probably see that it color shifts, it's holographic. Then this is obviously copper, and then I've added this bronze journal label with some fun paper back there that you can write something in there if you'd like to. These are bronze brads that hold the image on the front of the book, and the closure is with these sort of almost like a slightly buttery yellow kind of eyelet that I've added. I liked the colors together with the brown and the teal. It just really kind of brings it all together for me. And they are metal, and then I've used this vintage seam binding in kind of this toffee color to close it up. It's kind of a coppery tone. So once you open it up, you see the first illustration, my favorite illustration from the book. Now, what I did was I've placed these book pages back to back to keep all the pages in the book that had images on them. A couple I've used for ephemera, and they've been placed sort of out of order too, because I'm doing a visual story. I'm not doing the actual book, right? So I'm kind of like introducing you to her, and you know, you can sort of write your own story how you want to with this book if you should choose to pick it up. The spine is covered with this lovely kind of gilded and marbled fabric, and there's a pocket here with a little illustrated rabbit. I've added some illustrations from an old Aesop's Fables book as well. So in here we have this piece. This is a flower, and you could choose to keep it as a journal card, or you could glue it in anywhere you like in the book. It is from my Journal Together kit. It's just this big white rose, and it just tucks on in here as so. Then this is the front, like the what's it called? The sleeve of the book, right? The inside sleeve. And I kept the little story that was being told for this, so I'll read that to you quickly. Once in a land not too far from here, and in a time not too long ago, there lived a beautiful maiden who grants an enchanted frog 3 wishes in payment for a favor. But when one of the wishes is that she come with him and be his bride, she refuses, angrily hurling him against the wall to his death. The frog turns then into a handsome and noble youth, and the maiden instantly loves him as he already loves her. But because the maiden has not kept her promise, her lover must now go to a faraway kingdom east of the sun and west of the moon, to be wed instead to the hideous troll princess who first enchanted him. He is carried away by a host of demons, and the maiden sets out on a long and difficult journey to a magical yet perilous land on the farthest reaches of the imagination, determined to find her beloved. The way leads across a great sea, over a mountain of ice, and through a fiery cave. Many strange and wonderful creatures aid her in her search for the faraway land, and each one warns her, if you reach it, you will not find a welcome within. So a fun, fascinating story, and that just tucks in here with this flower. Just gonna plunk it in there. For the tabs, I've used these really fun, sparkly, felt like embossed tabs that have the, like, this is all permanent, it's not coming off. It's this fun, like, thick ribbon that I got from, I think, Michael's, actually. It just caught my eye because it was like sparkle. So you'll also see some wild honey, amber kind of colored spray throughout this whole book. That's like kind of adding some more of the, you know, a color theme of magical kind of gold to this book. So so here we have, see the spritzing that I'm talking about? You'll see it throughout the book. This lovely moth here, this is from a children's book, cabbage dyed paper. This tuck spot here with the Aesop's Fable fox there. And this is just a beautiful Pegasus with this, this is like a Greek mythology kind of image. And it's on this really beautiful paper. And then here, okay, so there's a few pieces of this fun, very wild kind of paper. So this has got like a lizard print to it, and it's super sparkly or shiny. This is metallic paper, and I've left the marking back here. It says Fantasia, Swiss Fantasia Metal Lux. So I got thrifting like this 1980s sample book of like these just completely wild 80s papers. And so, yeah, there's a few of them in here that went with this theme. This is like a door. It's been cut out of a book called The Sandman that has very similar illustration to Reen Portvliet. He is the Gnomes book illustrator. I'm not sure if he illustrates that book or not. I forgot to check, but it's very similar. And then another of the original book pages from the East of the Sun, West of the Moon. Some of my dyed paper here with this like kind of dragonfly wing sort of feeling print on it. A pocket here. This image is my own from my Journal Together kit. And then this is a vintage book page, and I've added a little bird here. So it's a tall journal card. Again, fun spritzing, and the original book page. For all the original book pages, I've cut them with pinking shears so that they had a nice like edge on one side. It was the side that was bound into the book. And then another original book page, we have her here. She's found an owl that's been hit by an arrow, and so she's out in the snow trying to retrieve. She may have even shot at this owl herself because she's got the arrows there. But again, I'm not telling the East of the Sun, West of the Moon the full story, so you could kind of add your own spin on things. Then we have these kind of spooky creatures here, and tucked inside there is this incredible image. And some of my hand-dyed paper. You'll see the fun, if you're not familiar with my hand-dyed papers, they have all this fissure type patterning to them. It's one of my special things that I do. And more of that dragonfly wing feeling kind of print. Another original book page and some spritzing. The other side of that metallic paper. And then another Aesop's Fable bird pocket on this beautiful paper. And this is from that lovely copy of Rapunzel. It's a journal card. More of my cabbage dyed paper and spritzing. A couple of the original pages from East of the Sun and West of the Moon. So we have the frog here, a dragonfly, a butterfly, sunflowers, and these gentlemen here. And we have here the main character and sort of like this wizardry-like kind of old lady, you know, and she's there trying to offer her a cup. And we have this pocket here with one of my roses, and it's on this lovely paper. And then this tag here, I felt like this could be from one of the darker moments in the story that she could be experiencing. And then this is a really beautifully drawn house. It says 1918. It's from a children's book, and it's a flip out. We have some spraying, and over here this pocket is a collaged pocket on more of that wild 80s paper, and this says, when we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. A quote by John Muir, and this is from Release the Crafton, from one of her word kits. And this is a grandfather clock. It's a very fun sort of woven plasticky type paper, and it comes out of a very old book, children's book, A Mother Goose, I believe. More of that Metalux paper, and this is more of my hand-dyed paper, and this is a label that I made and it says, even more strange and unexpected. Another of the beautiful Mercer Mayer illustrations from the book. And then here we have her riding on this beautiful magic fish, and then the frog in the little doorway there. He's pretty cute. More hand-dyed and spritzed paper, and then a stitched and collaged pocket here that holds on to. This is from an old book, probably also a Rapunzel and the frog there, you see image. That's why I tied in Rapunzel, because or is it Rapunzel? Is she the one who has to no, she has the long hair and they climb. There's not a frog. I forget which fairy tale. It's not The Princess and the Pea. Sorry, I have so many fairy tale books, but anyways, we have the frog, the princess and the frog. I'm not sure. So then this belly band is definitely from Rapunzel. And behind it is an original Mercer Mayer dragon image. That's a journal card. And then this little playing card that has this owl kind of popping out of the frame. And then this was on the back of the East of the Sun and West of the Moon book. Just a really cool like set of illustrations, and I turned it into a journal card. And then another original book page. And another pocket with some of my painted leaves and that beautiful paper. This is from another children's book, and I just liked this girl. She has something magic she's uncovering in her hands. So it's a journal tag. Cabbage dyed and spritzed papers. This is another fun. This is the image. It was from Aesop's Fables, and we have the sun and a cloud blowing this man, blowing the trees, and then this Rapunzel image here. And I love the crows, and it has my hand dyed paper on back. Another original book page image and one of those sparkly tabs. I love this tree man. He's so cool. And this is one of my snails that I painted and did some mixed media with snail slime from Release the Crafton's challenge that we did a little bit ago, the Goblin Mode challenge. I thought it fit nicely into this book. And then this unicorn with her riding there. It's from the original book as well. This is the flap of a hand-painted envelope that you'll see a little later, but you can obviously write on both sides of it. And another of the original book page images, and there we have the troll princess that he has to marry. And then here, this is the other side of the envelope. So this side, I've spritzed it, and I've added this little journal card inside. It's from an old postcard that I've painted a swatch on and added some of Cecily Marie Barker fairy onto. And then we'll just pop that back in there. as so. I cut the edge of the envelope to make it easier to just slide it in and out. Some more hand-dyed paper and another original book page. Some scary guys. I guess this is the warning that she got, that, you know, if she were to go after her prince, that there would not be a warm welcome. This is basically from Aesop's Fables. It's the story of the jackdaw wanting to be prettier, so he starts to collect peacock feathers and shove them into his plumage. And this is a journal tag that I designed from my Journal Together kit. And more cabbage dyed and sprayed papers. This is a little mythology pocket here from a book. And this is an image from my Journal Together kit from a few months ago. And this is fabric around and a little gold label there. Another of the original Mercer Mayer illustrations with the fish. I love his big eyes and one of those tabs. And the other side here, the prince is being taken away by the trolls. And some cabbage dyed paper. This is some stamping that I did on like a schedule reminder kind of paper, and then I used mica sprays and stuff and made it very pretty. And then in here we have what I thought could be another lovely image of like the princess, maybe, you know, on her way somewhere, and then like her kind of lady in waiting, or her, you know, assistant that may be back at her cabin, you know, because often women like this, girls like this, would have a helper. They would have like a nanny type woman who would care for them. And this actually came out of the Sandman book that I think also is very Reen Portvliet like, and so I thought it was a nice place to put this in. She's just very charming with her large teeth and her kind of like folk outfit. It's very cute. Then this is an image from Rapunzel here, a little bird on the shutter. And that's more of that wild 80s paper. I liked it because of the gold, and there's also some purples. You know, I'm picking up on, like, see these tabs, you know, that paper, it picks up on each other. Some more spritzing over here, and then one of my, I made these a while ago, maybe in a Tuesday 10, but I really liked the granulated watercolor and the fact that there's an owl, because there's owls throughout this book. So it was the perfect little journal card for in there. And then more spritzing and hand-dyed paper. This is like a little folio with pockets, and this says Imagine Tonight. It's made from folder, and there's some upside down trees here. This was a book about like it was, I think, called Imagine the Night. Maybe it was like all of these dreamscape kind of surreal images. And then this is also from another very old children's book. Journal card. This is from my Journal Together kit. It's one of these dolls that I'm kind of doing an art concept with. And then this is from a coloring book page. And this was from a really interesting book. It had all animals in it, and it was animals at nighttime. And I just really love how it's been illustrated. It's all paintings. And some mushrooms from the Junk Journal Studio. And then that beautiful image from the cover of the book. This is the one that's inside the book, of her flying here with him. And then more spraying and coloring book page. The other side of that folder folio, we have another clock there. And then you'll see again that the trees are coming through the window, so there's a bit of fun surrealism. And this little tag that has an owl from an old children's book. It says the sun, the moon, the stars, the storms. Little tag. More hand-dyed paper and more of that metallics paper, and on it I have a rusty paper clip holding onto this journal card with another owl. I think this one's also possibly from Rapunzel. And this belly band has this fun, you know, we needed more magical feeling creatures and things. So this tag, this is collaged from like a gift book type book. I love the face on the deer, and this guy is just too cool. I added this hat, I collaged that on myself, and there's a bear down there. So, you know, we got to keep this majestic journey interesting. More cabbage dyed paper and another image from the original book, both sides. This is owls from a very old children's book. And then there's some sort of fun wood and green like foil paper back there. And then this is a long journal kind of bookmark with a tree on it, and then another original book page ephemera piece. This tag here. And some spraying and just some fun silver tissue paper. Here we have this little goblin here. So this is from another book. And then this is another image of Rapunzel. This is like the old lady, and she's got all these flowers there. And you can write back here, and you've got a few more little goblins there. And then this is more of my dyed paper. This owl from the Sandman book on this coloring book page, and then this journal card inside. I believe it's also from Rapunzel. Mushrooms and birch trees. Spritzing and cabbage dyed paper. There's the Troll Princess, and it looks like they've been turned to stone here. And then finally they get together, the prince and, you know, the princess, and it looks like the ogres have been turned to stone and wood, and there's a woodpecker pecking away at this one. And then another of the images from the original book of her with one of the trolls, and cabbage dyed paper, coloring book page, this little more of the jackdaws down here, and then this is a jelly printed and rub-on tag that I made that just, I like the colors, how they go with everything. More dyed paper. This beautiful picture image is from a book, what's it called? Visions and Vectors or something, I can't remember, but it's lots of comic book illustration and surrealism, and I love this side as well. So it's just kind of a special little book page. And then more of the silver tissue paper. This rusty paper clip, some spritzing back here. This is a piece that I recently made for actually the Goblin Mode challenge. So these are real Japanese maple leaves that I've sealed down, and this is from a mushroom field guide, and these also mushroom field guide, I think. And on the back it says classification and nomenclature of fungi, and it's on my rusty paper that I print leaves on. And on this side, more of that fun wood paper, and I've added this here. This was also from Rapunzel, and it's the old lady with some things in her basket, and all of those jackdaws or crows there. And that is the last journal card. And then back here we've got my seal and signature. So that is the Journey Majestic, and I hope you liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was interesting to work with a storybook in this way, but not like tell the specific story, and get to sort of set it up in my own way and add other elements to it. I think if you enjoy, you know, stories, fairy tales, storytelling, illustration, Mercer Mayer, definitely, magic, kind of foresty stuff, you'll like this book. So thank you for joining me. If you're seeing this video, that means that it is going up on my Etsy shop, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.